Contrary to popular belief, Virgo is not here to nitpick your work. Now, Virgo is here to figure out why the work isn't working. Even though the vision or the mission is exciting, somebody still has to build the system, fix the problems, clarify the roles, and deal with the people problems everybody else keeps avoiding. Welcome back to the Astrology of Authority Series, where we look beyond zodiac stereotypes and explore how each sign expresses leadership through human design, gene keys, and business sociology. If you're new here, hi, I'm Erica. Welcome. I'm a retired social worker, former C-suite executive, a forever social scientist, and founder of Satori Synergy, where I bring together my 30 years of professional experience, my sociology degree, my MBA in HR management, and my certified expertise in human design for career and business to help you align your career with your calling and lead with ease, with your natural talents and your purpose. Now, in the previous episode, we stood in the spotlight of Leo. Leo showed us how leaders inspire people, shape the story, influence direction, and give others something to believe in. But inspiration is only the beginning. Once that vision has moved people, someone has to figure out how to make it work. Someone has to bring the right people together. Someone has to clarify their responsibilities, examine what happened before, extract the lesson out of it, and address the friction, let alone improve the process. Welcome to the workshop of Virgo. Virgo mirrors the energy of the astrological sixth house, the part of life connected with work and routines and service, skill development, health, and the systems that keep everything functioning behind the scenes. Now, although I'm not a Virgo, my Taurus sun sits in the sixth house, and my midheaven is Virgo. So if you speak the language of astrology, you understand that I will still lead with a heavy Virgo energy. Now, while Virgo is often reduced to being organized and analytical, critical, perfectionist, Virgo leadership goes deeper than that. Virgo studies how work works. It notices where the communication is breaking down, where the expectations are unclear, and the dependable employee is becoming exhausted, where people are repeating outdated processes, and where unresolved tensions is quietly affecting the results. Now, in this episode, we are exploring 5 Virgo traits through the human design gates: 59, 40, 64, 47, and 6. So pause right here. Go grab your human design chart from satorisynergy.com/chart and look for those numbers and either of those 2 columns that flank your body graph chart. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. So together, these traits show us how Virgo leaders build trust, contribute responsibly, hold complexities, transform experience into understanding, and use diplomacy to move people through conflict. Virgo is not improving things simply to make them look better. Virgo is asking whether the system actually works and whether it works for the people responsible for sustaining it. Now, Leo gives people something to believe in. Virgo gives them a way to work with it. All right, you ready? You have your chart? Let's get into what Virgo is working with as a leader. Now, the first Virgo leadership trait is Gate 59, often called the gate of intimacy or dispersion. And yes, dispersion is exactly what it sounds like. The ability to move through barriers, close the distance, and create connection. In human design, Gate 59 is tribal energy. Its role is to bring people together, close enough to bond, cooperate, support one another, and create something together. Now, biologically, this gate is associated with reproduction. But in the workplace, we can broaden that idea of fertility. This is the energy that brings people resources, information, and ideas and put them together so a new project, a partnership, solution, or opportunity can be born. From a business sociology perspective, Gate 59 is able to build trust and it understands something important. Putting people together on the same team does not mean that they automatically trust one another. You can create your org chart, you can assign the roles, send that calendar invite all you want. But if people are still guarded and withholding information, protecting their territory, or avoiding the truth, the work of the group will suffer. Gate 59 helps transform proximity into actual partnership. Now, this may be that leader who builds rapport across departments, gets people to lower their defenses, and creates the trust that is required for someone to finally say what is really happening. They know how to move beyond the polished surface level and make real collaboration possible. But this energy has to mature. And the gene keys, the shadow of Gate 59 is dishonesty. Now, undeveloped Gate 59 energy may sound like, listen, let's just keep this between us. Or the rest of the team doesn't need to know. Or maybe something like, let's not bring that issue up. It could damage the partnership. Or maybe even, listen, I'm just going to tell them what they want to hear right now so we could keep this thing moving. Now, that shadow, that could look like false intimacy, strategic charm, the blurred lines, unclear boundaries, or using closeness to gain access, loyalty, information, or cooperation. It can also mean hiding the truth because you are afraid that honesty may disrupt the relationship. Now, a mature Gate 59 sounds a little different. Sounds more like, let's be sure to bring the right people into the conversation before we develop a solution. Or maybe before we ask these teams to collaborate, we need to understand what has damaged the trust between them. Or maybe, listen, I want to be clear about what I know, what I don't know, and what I'm not able to share just yet. This leader creates enough trust for people to be real without turning the workplace into an emotional free-for-all. These express intimacy and transparency as workplace maturity, creating honest connection, establishing clear expectations, and making it safe for people to simply tell the truth. Transparency does not mean telling everybody everything. It simply means people do not have to guess about your intentions. Your warmth is genuine, your boundaries are clear, and your words and action match. Now, public figures with Gate 59 activated in their human design charts include Oprah Winfrey, LL Cool J, John Lennon, Isaac Hayes, Tina Turner, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Nick Cannon. Now, Nick Cannon has certainly demonstrated the reproductive side of dispersion. That Gate 59 has been dispersing itself all over his family tree. But whether this energy creates trust or confusion depends on how consciously it is used. Now, if your birthday falls between August 23rd, maybe to about the 28th, Gate 59 is a major key to optimizing your leadership style. You are designed to thrive by creating honest connections, by breaking down barriers that prevent cooperation and bringing the right people together to create something meaningful. Your leadership mantra sounds a little like, I lead by creating the trust that makes honest collaboration possible. The second Virgo leadership trait is gate 40, often called the gate of aloneness or deliverance, or even the provider. Gate 40 carries the will to work. It wants to provide resources and honor agreements and support the people who depend on them. Now, in the workplace, this is often the leader everyone trusts to get the job done. They bring the resources, they fulfill the promise, they carry their responsibility. They make sure the team has what it needs to deliver the mission. Now, from a business sociology perspective, I think of gate 40 as representing the relationship between labor, loyalty, reciprocity, and belonging. Every organization depends on people who are willing to contribute their time, their effort, their expertise, and their resources. But that contribution is never truly one-sided. There's always an agreement, whether it has been clearly stated or just quietly assumed. Now, a leader with this activation carries the energy of, I will do the work, and in return, I expect compensation, appreciation, support, autonomy, loyalty, and some time to recover. Now, Gate 40 understands that a healthy workplace is built upon promises that are honored. When people consistently give more than they receive, that social contract begins to break down. And this is where the shadow appears. In the Gene Keys, the shadow of Gate 40 is called exhaustion. Now, an immature leader with Gate 40 may say something like, listen, don't worry about helping me. I'll just handle it myself. Or, listen, the team needs me, so taking time off isn't really an option. I already said I would do it, and I have to follow through, even though I have nothing left in my tank. Now, this leader may overpromise, carry responsibilities that should be shared, or continue working long after their energy has been depleted, because their love and their loyalty are often expressed through what they provide. They may believe that saying no means letting people down. Now, this energy is located in the will or the ego center. And willpower is not an unlimited resource. So yes, it has a brave heart, but that turbo boost of energy is not sustainable. This energy is designed for a rhythm of work and rest, work and rest, work and deliver, then step away, recover, return when energy is available again. Without that recovery period, that dependable provider can become resentful, isolated, and completely burnt out. They may withdraw from the team. And it's not that they don't care or love the work anymore, but because too many people have become dependent on them without any rest, restoration, or reciprocity. As it matures, Gate 40 becomes resolve. Now, a mature leader with Gate 40 sounds like, I'm committed to delivering this, but we need to clarify the resources and the timeline. Or, sure, I can support the team without taking responsibility for everybody's work. They may even say, rest is part of how I maintain the capacity to lead. Resolve is not proving how much you can endure. It's knowing what you are willing to commit to and having the discipline to honor that commitment without abandoning yourself. This leader creates clear agreements, provides dependable support, and it does expect reciprocity. They know that appreciation matters, but their worth is not determined by how indispensable they may make themselves. Public figures with Gate 40 activated in their human design charts include Michael Jackson, Princess Diana, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Dennis Rodman, Janelle Monáe, Dr. Dre, Tony Robbins, and Kevin Hart. Across their very different careers, we can see a strong theme of work ethic, contribution, service, and the pressure that can come with being the person that other people rely on. Now, if your birthday falls between August 28th till about September 3rd, Gate 40 is a major key in optimizing your leadership style. You are designed to thrive when your work is meaningful, your agreements are fair, your contribution is appreciated, and your need for rest is respected. A leadership mantra you could take with you is, I lead through dependable contribution, clear agreements, and the resolve to rest before my services become self-sacrificing. The third Virgo leadership trait is Gate 64, often called the Gate of Confusion or before completion. Now, Gate 64 carries the mental pressure to make sense of the images and memories and impressions and experiences from the past. This energy often receives the pieces of the puzzle before they have seen the picture on the box. So yes, it can feel confusing, but confusion is not necessarily a problem here. Actually, it's a very important part of the process. Now, from a business sociology perspective, Gate 64 represents the period between organizational experience and organizational understanding. Something has happened. The project failed, the culture shifted, employee behavior changed, a leader noticed a pattern, but no one can fully explain what it means yet. Gate 64 sits with those unfinished pieces. This leader may remember a comment from 6 months ago, connect that to a current challenge, visualize several possibilities and outcomes, and sense that there is something important beneath the surface, even before they have the language to communicate it clearly. They may be highly imaginative, reflective, and visually oriented, and can quickly learn just by looking at something. Their mind can hold many ideas, memories, and possibilities all at one time. But Gate 64 is in the head center, which means it provides inspiration and mental pressure, not decision-making authority. The idea may be important, but that does not mean it is ready to become the strategy. In the Gene Keys, the shadow of Gate 64 is called confusion. So an immature leader with this energy may say things like, we need to make a decision now. I'll figure out the reasoning later. Or, wow, actually, I have too many ideas, so let's just try them all. Or, listen, I'll admit it. I know something is wrong. I can't explain it right now, so y'all are just going to have to trust my vision and go with me. This leader may force clarity because uncertainty and not having an answer makes them uncomfortable. They can overwhelm the team with unfinished ideas, confuse inspiration with instructions, or become mentally stuck replaying what happened. Sometimes that pressure becomes so intense that they may make a decision simply to stop thinking about it. But Gate 64 is not designed to force the answer. It needs time to process, to rearrange themselves. And its mature expression, Gate 64 becomes imagination. A mature Gate 64 may say things like, I do see several possible explanations, but I need more time before recommending a direction. Or maybe, let's capture the ideas without committing to all of them. Or something from my past experience may help us resolve this. I want to review that, see what we learned before we move forward. This leader knows how to remain curious while the answer is still forming. They allow the mind to explore without demanding immediate clarity. And when the final insight arrives, it can help the organization reinterpret the past, imagine new possibilities, or recognize a pattern everyone else overlooked. Now, public figures with this gate include Halle Berry, Dr. Jill Biden, Michelle Obama, Brandy Norwood, Dr. Phil, Kamala Harris, Brene Brown, and Morgan Freeman all have this activated in their human design chart. Now, they're across very different fields, but we can see their capacity to work with stories, memories, ideas, and human experiences, and all of the meanings beneath them. And you've heard me mention the gene keys when I expand the philosophy of the human design gates. The founder and author of the gene keys, Richard Rudd, has this gate of contemplation as his most important energy. So like him, if your birthday falls between September 3rd to about September 9th, this is a major key in optimizing your leadership style. You are designed to thrive when you give your ideas some time to develop. Resist the pressure to know everything immediately. Use your imagination to help others see possibilities hidden within past experiences. A leadership mantra that you could take with you is, I lead by giving unfinished ideas the time they need to become meaningful possibilities. The fourth Virgo leadership trait is Gate 47, often called the gate of realization or oppression. Now, Gate 47 works closely with Gate 64 we just discussed. Gate 64 receives the images and the memories and the impressions and the unfinished puzzle pieces. Gate 47 tries to figure out what all of it means and where all those pieces go. So where Gate 64 says, hey, something is here, but I can't make sense of it yet, Gate 47 comes in and eventually says, I see it. I understand. From a business sociology perspective, Gate 47 represents organizational meaning making. It likes to make things make sense. Now, organizations collect experiences constantly. Some projects succeed. Some initiatives fail. Employees leave. Teams reorganize. Leaders make difficult decisions. But having an experience does not automatically mean the organization has learned from it. Gate 47 is the energy that looks back and asks questions like, what was important about what happened? Why did it have that effect on us? What should we understand now that we couldn't see then? Now, a leader with this energy may be gifted at helping people make sense of disruption, disappointment, and change management, because they can filter through competing memories and perspectives to identify the lesson that matters most right now to the team. They are often the person who can take a difficult experience and help the team understand how it changed them and what it revealed and how it can inform the next decision. But this realization cannot be forced. The shadow version of Gate 47 is called oppression. So an immature leader with this energy may say things like, we failed again. Clearly nothing we do is working. Or there has to be an explanation for this, and I need it before we move forward. This experience was a waste of time. The leader may become trapped beneath the mental weight and oppression of the past. They can replay what went wrong, search relentlessly for a reason, or decide that the experience had no value simply because they don't understand the meaning of it just yet. Now, an oppressive or closed mindset can also show up when the leader creates one negative interpretation and treats it as the entire truth. The project did not work, so the team is incompetent. The employee left, so loyalty is no longer exists here. But those are interpretations, not necessarily realizations. As a mature expression, a leader with gate 47 becomes transfiguration. They may say things like, we cannot change what happened, but we can decide what we learn from it. Or, I want to understand the experience before we turn it into a permanent policy. Yeah, that setback reveals something that we were not able to see before. Transfiguration is more than just positive thinking. It's the ability to look honestly at a difficult experience and allow your understanding of it to change or evolve. Now, of course, the facts remain the same, but their meaning is transformed. What once felt like rejection now becomes redirection. What looked like failure now becomes evidence. What felt like wasted effort may reveal the exact process that is needed to improve the situation. This is why Gate 47 is such an important Virgo leadership trait. Virgo does not improve the process only by expecting what went wrong. It also helps people understand why that experience mattered. Public figures with this energy include Holly Berry, Dr. Jill Biden, Brandy Norwood, Dr. Phil, Kamala Harris, Dr. Brene Brown, and Morgan Freeman. These are some examples we saw in Gate 64 because these two energies often work together and they form the channel and the strength of being an abstract thinker. First comes the pressure or the confusion of Gate 64, and then the realization and the meaning from Gate 47. But sometimes the 47 shows up solo, like it does in Barack Obama's chart. And if you remember from trait 64, Michelle Obama had that, but she does not have this 47. So that's one reason why they make a great couple. This electromagnetic, where opposite energies come together and attract, they literally complete or complement the other, creating the 64-47 channel, literally putting their heads together to make life make sense for the collective society. But let's stay focused. I do partnership chart analysis too, but that's for another conversation. But I think it's very fascinating. If your birthday falls between September 9th till about the 15th, Gate 47 is a major key to optimizing and leveraging your leadership style. You are designed to thrive when you give yourself time to process experience. Resist turning temporary confusion into a permanent story, and help others discover meaning within what they have lived through. A leadership mantra for you is, I lead by transforming experiences into understanding that helps others move forward. The fifth Virgo leadership trait is Gate 6, often called the gate of friction, conflict, or at its best, the diplomat. Now, Gate 6 works with Gate 59 energy we discussed earlier. Gate 59 breaks down those barriers and creates connection. Gate 6 decides whether the door should actually remain open or not. So Gate 59 says, let's get closer. Gate 6 says, under what terms and conditions exactly? In human design, Gate 6 is emotional. It's tribal energy, connected to boundaries and intimacy, conflict, and reconciliation. It determines who receives access, when connection feels safe, and what must be resolved before people can work together productively. Now, from my business sociology perspective, Gate 6 represents the reality that every workplace contains friction. People have different priorities. Departments compete for resources. Leaders and employees interpret the same event differently. Teams disagree about what should happen next, or the presence of conflict does not automatically mean that the organization is unhealthy, though. Sometimes friction reveals the exact issue that must be addressed before trust and cooperation or any type of improvement can occur. This energy understands that peace is not the absence of disagreement. Peace is the ability to move through disagreement without destroying the relationship, the team, or the work. This leadership may be skilled at arbitration, mediation, compromise, identifying common ground, right? They can hear opposing perspectives, recognize where boundaries have been crossed, and help people negotiate with resolution that both sides can live with. But Gate 6 also carries a strong, penetrating presence. People may feel this leader before they even speak. Their energy can draw someone closer and cause others to create distance. And that's why emotional self-awareness matters. In the Gene Keys, the shadow of Gate 6 is called conflict. The immature Gate 6 leader may sound like, we're doing it my way. I'm not debating this anymore. Or if they disagree with me, they clearly aren't committed to the team. So this leader may push the agenda, become defensive, escalate a disagreement, or avoid the issue entirely to preserve the appearance of harmony. They might also allow people access emotionally while they're open and then suddenly shut them out when that emotional climate has changed. Now, because Gate 6 broadcasts emotional energy, unresolved tension rarely stays private. The whole team can feel it. We saw an extremely public example of unmanaged friction during the Oscars incident involving Will Smith and Chris Rock. Y'all remember that? Those two public figures both carried this energy. A moment of tension crossed the boundary and it escalated rapidly. And then it became a global conversation about conflict and restraint and protection, humiliation, and accountability. That was Gate 6 in neon lights. The friction was powerful and how it was handled matters. Now, at its mature expression, Gate 6 becomes diplomacy. So at its highest level, then it becomes peace even. A mature Gate 6 sounds like, we don't have to agree, but we do need to understand what is driving the disagreement. Or before we move forward, let's clarify the boundary that was crossed first. Diplomacy does not mean pleasing everyone or avoiding a difficult conversation. It means creating the conditions for people to confront the issue without turning one against the other and into enemies. The leader knows when to open the door, when to close it, and when to remain at the table long enough for a better agreement to emerge. Now, public figures with Gate 6 include Chris Rock and Will Smith, like I just mentioned, and that not self example. Also, Albert Einstein, LL Cool J, John Lennon, Anthony Anderson, Rihanna, and Oprah. Oprah also carries the 59 gate of transparency that we spoke about. So she has an entire channel, the 659 of interaction or production, as we refer to it in business. So across different lives and careers, we can see the themes of a strong presence, disruption, protection, tension, attraction, and how they influence people and relate across their differences. Now, if your birthday falls between September 15th till around the 22nd, Gate 6 is a major key to optimizing your leadership style. You are designed to thrive when you respect your emotional timing, establish clear boundaries, and actually use friction as information rather than ammunition. Your leadership mantra to take away is, I lead by turning conflict into clarity, boundaries into trust, and disagreement into the possibility of peace. Virgo leadership reminds us that division alone is not enough. Someone has to build the relationship, like trait 59. Someone has to honor the agreements, like trait 40. Someone else has to examine what happened, trait 64. Turn the experience into understanding, like trait 47, and work through the friction that comes with bringing people together, trait 6. Now, whether your Virgo leadership shows up through trust, service, imagination, making it make sense, or diplomacy, your work is not to perfect everything. It is to create systems that function more honestly, sustainably, and humanely. Now, if this conversation has you wondering whether your current work actually reflects the leader you are designed to become, it may be time for you to answer the call and step into my one-on-one career alignment and leadership lab. Or join me for my monthly Open to Work Career Orientation, a group leadership development webinar that's designed to help you look beyond the next job title and orient yourself towards work that truly resonates with who you are. Next month, we'll leave Virgo's workshop and enters Libra's conference room. Because once the systems are built and the work is underway, someone has to negotiate their relationships, weigh the competing interests, and decide what fairness looks like. And that is where Libra leadership begins. I'll leave it there for now. In the meanwhile, I see you over at satorisynergy.com to sign up for my services or events. Until then, go be great, superstar.